Hello and welcome to ReginaldESQ. I'm Underhook and this is my review of the Russian Tier 7 medium tank, the T-43. So is it any good? It's an average tank. It's okay. It's not good tank and it's not a bad tank. It has good armor for a medium tank and most of its other stats are pretty much average. The thing that lets this tank down though is its gun. It's just undergunned for its tier. So let's get into the review. It has 1100 hit points, which is on the lower side of average for Tier 7 medium. The highest hit points of 1300 goes to the Panther and the Premium Panther M10, and the lowest hit points go to the Premium E3 Sherman American with 1050. So we're right down near the bottom end of the scale on hit points. Weight-wise, at 34.8 tons, it's on the lower side of average once again. The lightest tank being the American T-20 at 30.8, and the heaviest being the Panther M10 at 46 ton. Speed-wise, this tank does 51 kilometers an hour in forward and 20 kilometers an hour in reverse. Now, the 20 kilometers an hour in reverse is pretty much average for, they all pretty much do a similar speed in reverse. But the forward speed is also kind of average at 51 k's. The fastest would be the A44 at 59 kilometers an hour in forward, and the slowest being the Chi-Ri, the Japanese tank, at 42 kilometers an hour in forward. But yeah, it does get around. It moves quite well, and its track traverse of 38 is also about average. The fastest track traverse goes to the Premium T-44-85 Russian Premium with 54, which is sensational, and the slowest being the Panther with 32 track traverse, which is pretty slow for a medium. So 38 is okay. The turret traverse is very good though at 48 degrees a second. The only one that beats that is the Russian KV-13 with 50 degrees a second. And the worst is the German VK-3002D at only 25 degrees a second. So we're nearly twice as fast as that. So turret traverse is one of the pluses of this tank. Now the view range on this tank is 370 meters, which is on the lower side of average and is a bit of a letdown, but it's typical for a Russian tank. The signal range of 547 meters is also, or 525 meters, sorry, it is here, is also not good, and it is the equal worst. Camouflage wise, this tank is not too bad. It's average for its tier. The best being the Russian Premium T-44-85 and the worst being the Panther, and not far behind that would be the Chi-Ri. So it's not bad, this one though. It's pretty much average on camouflage. Didn't notice any problems with it. Gun depression wise, this tank is actually pretty good. It has 8 degrees of gun depression and it has 26 degrees of elevation. Now 26 degrees of elevation is the best in class. So that's quite good. And 8 degrees of gun depression does mean it can survive okay as a hill fighter, but it's not the best. The best gun depression is 10 degrees, and that goes to the American T-20 as well as the Premium Sherman E3, and also the Japanese Chi-Ri also have 10 degrees of gun depression, and there's quite a few that have 8. So it's in the middle there with the 8 degrees, and there's a few sort of the Russian ones that have terrible gun depression as well. So let's have a look at the grind for this tank. If I can find the tank on my screen. I was able to go straight to the top engine and top radio because of previous tanks I've had, so I can't really tell you about the previous engines, but it does go quite well with the top engine. You do need to upgrade the tanks to get to the top gun because you need to get the top turret before you can get to the top gun. The grind for this is quite painful because you have a choice of here the 85mm gun or 122mm gun. The 85mm gun only has 126 pen, or with premium you can get up to 167, but it's a pretty bad gun with terrible accuracy as well. This derp gun or howitzer gun here is pretty awful. Really, you're facing tier 8 and tier 9 tanks and you can't do, pretty much you do no damage to them with this gun. So it is a very painful grind. Once you get the top gun, unfortunately the pain doesn't end. Why? Well, this is the exact same gun we had on the T-34-85, the previous tier 6 tank. It's the same gun. Same pen, same dispersion, same aim time, same accuracy. It's the same gun. And really just doesn't hold up at this tier. I mean, the T-34-85 was a good tank, but the gun didn't hold up at tier 8. Well, now they've given us the same gun, and we've got to face tier 8s and tier 9s in 66% of our games. So it's undergunned. I mean, and that's less penetration than a Chi-Ri. So really, you can't penetrate. I mean, even tier 7 heavies, you have trouble penetrating frontally. And now tier 8s, even mediums, you can't penetrate. Tier 8 and tier 9 mediums at the front. And heavies, a lot of heavies you can't even penetrate from the side at tier 9. So even with premium ammunition, look, it's not too bad. But I don't like using premium ammunition all the time. So really, the gun is the major letdown for this tank. Also, the turret armor, whilst being an improvement, is not a major improvement over the previous tank. However, the hull armor is a major improvement, and I'll go into that in Tank Inspector. That said, it's not an awful tank, and it does survive and does hold its own. It's just not a tank you can go around having great games in, that's all. So the tactic for this tank is pretty similar. It is flexible in that you can sort of snipe, you can go hull down in the tank with the turret. It also can side scrape quite well. The sides have been improved in strength significantly from the previous models, and so it will still side scrape well against 122mm now. And the armor can be angled at 45 degrees, and it will bounce some shots. It's just not. It's just the gun that really lets this tank down. So let's get a Tank Inspector, have a look at the armor, and then get into some gameplay. So let's look at the T-43 in Tank Inspector, and we'll go straight to the colorized view. Now you can see here the lower upper plates here, it's all a uniform 75mm of armor. Now if I go to the side, it's also 75, and the rear is also 75. These small sections here are actually 85. So it's basically 75 all around the entire hull. That is good. 75 is not enough. However, the front is sloped, and that means though that we can angle this tank very heavily. So if we angle this on say 45 degrees, which is about there, you can see we're getting a pretty uniform 120 to 140 all the way around the tank. So you can get fairly good armor values there. Now that's not going to bounce any heavy tanks or anything like that, but you will bounce the odd shots from lighter tanks, and it is worth angling the armor. Now the turret is also a uniform 90mm all around. And the cupola is also 90mm, so that's pretty good. And the mantlet is actually, most of the mantlet is 90mm of armor overlaying another 90mm of armor. So we're actually getting quite good armor on the mantlet, and that will bounce the odd shot from a heavy tank, and certainly some mediums and lights. So the mantlet is pretty tough now, and it extends right up to the top of the tank, which is really great if you're going hull down. However, on the previous tank, the T-34-85, we did have 90mm of armor around the front. It was just the sides that reduced to, I think it was about 75 or something. Well, now the sides continue to be 90, which is kind of good, but this area here still being 90 is a little bit of a letdown, and you can get penetrated here, and the cupola still being 90 can get penetrated fairly reliably. So it would have been nice to have seen a bit of beefing up around the front, but so it's not as good hull down as the previous tank was in the previous tier, simply because it's now a tier higher, but the hull is much better and does do okay. The other thing to note with this tank is that the crew get injured very easily, especially the driver, and the fuel tanks do catch fire reasonably easily. So a fire extinguisher wouldn't be a bad idea, and you definitely need a first aid kit on board. Alright, let's get into some gameplay.
Move out.
So the map is Himmelsdorf. We're in our tier 7 T-43, and it's a tier 7 match, so we're top of the tree. The enemy only has one heavy tank, and it's a tier 6. We don't have any heavy tanks, but this T-43, when you're top tier like this, you are virtually a heavy tank. So moving up the hill, and yeah, this is an opportunity. This is a perfect lineup for this tank. There's no artillery, there's not really many heavy tanks, so yeah. And look, the other game I've got to show you will also be a tier 7 game, and that's mainly just because the gun just doesn't perform at anything against sort of tier 7 and below.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Now, if you wanted to use a lot of premium ammunition, then you probably could get away with it at the higher tiers, but I just don't like spending all that money on ammunition and stuff. I don't know, have an objection to it. Now you can see here some of these players are not very experienced. I mean, I'm sitting just here, guys, so like, you really don't want to be there. And you can see that that Panzer IV had shots with HE ammunition there, but only did 93 damage. So our armour is sort of thick enough to take some of those HE shots from those sort of tanks. Very dangerous tank destroyer, but you can see that he just came out, he pretty much just ignored me, which fatal mistake. So we're against some players who really aren't good players. And also you can see this tank is very good at popping out, taking shots and popping back. Very quick aim time. And against tier 6 and 7 tanks and tier 5 tanks, this thing does do good damage. Once you get to tier 8, tier 9, the damage is a little bit low, so it's undergun in damage as well as in penetration. So we've had a fantastic game so far, and we've got 5 kills already. So everything's going our way at the moment. We've taken a little bit of damage, but not too much. As you can see downhill, the tank really moves. So I'm just checking, turning my gun just to check the alleys on the way past. We can see here the turret traverse is very fast. So it's hard to get caught in a position where you can't get your gun on a tank. So I'm heading around the back here, hoping I can get maybe some free shots at some TDs that are pointing the wrong way. Now T-37's been spotted there, a Stug G, 3G that's spotted there. So I should be able to get some shots here. Now, here, by the way, is where everything goes wrong. Good chance to get a top gun. I decide to track this guy, and just as I decide to do it, he moves. I hit him in the back, but it bounces. I go to track him again. No! He moves again, and I miss. I should have just shot him in the back, and now he's gone. And I'm being shot by an E-25 and a Comet. Now they all know I'm here now. They're all shooting at me. I hit the E-25, but all I do is track him. At least I get a shot in there. Now I'm in trouble. Now my engine's been damaged. I'm deciding to hit this Comet, but I'm in big trouble now. And I'm dead. Stug 3 kills me. So, how to throw a top gun away. Yeah, so a good example of how to get a top gun and throw it in the bin. Geez, I totally botched that. I went too far out, exposed too much of myself, and then stuffed around trying to track the guy, and I should have just shot him. A couple of shots would have killed him. Oh well, live and learn. Anyway, it was a class 2 badge, and we got a high caliber. We should have done better though. Next screen, we finished on top for XP and top for damage. So we fired 16 shots, 14 of those hits and all 14 penetrated. So the penetration is quite adequate for tier 7 and below. Damage of 2048 is very good. Hits received 11, 9 of those penetrated. So I only managed to bounce 2 shots against these tiers, which the armor actually didn't hold up that well. We damaged 9 tanks, destroying 5, which is actually not bad. We bought in 38 grand, 11 of that was a bonus, and so without the 11,000 on top of there, we made about 26,000 credits, which is not bad profit. So 1,022 XP was enough for a class 2 badge. I don't think I managed to get mastery badge in this tank, so it looks like mastery would probably be about the 1250 or 1300 mark, which is fairly high. So bear in mind, there's probably people out there doing a lot better than me. So the map is Prokhorovka, once again tier 7 game, and we're top of the tree again. A few more tier 7s in this game though, about half the tanks on the team are tier 7s. So moving over to the hill, we do have reasonably good gun depression with 8 degrees. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit to 2 times just to sort of speed things up a little bit. I'll slow it down here. I think do I take a shot? Yeah, take a butt shot. Speed up again to 2 times. Speed, normal speed again. I think those tanks are actually on the other side of the tracks. Just waiting to see if they pop up. Oh! Gotcha. Well, okay. You've got to say that was a nice shot. Didn't do much damage, only 23 points, but we did get the kill. And we don't manage to aim in time to get a shot at that tank. I'll just speed this up a little bit again as I move up the hill. So I've got so many tanks up the top of the hill now, I feel quite safe moving forward here. Slowing it back down again. Panzer 3-4, and I'm actually pushing a little bit here because I know I've got reasonable armor at this tier. And I've got plenty of guys up on the hill to provide cover. So I'm just going for it. A few guys are moving down with me as well, so I've got sort of a wall of tanks. I've got other people to shoot at. So hopefully they don't focus fire. Hellcat's easier to penetrate than me, so hopefully they'll shoot for him instead of me. So I'm just having a look at that hill, see if I can see anything there. So far not. So it looks like the enemy didn't send anywhere near enough tanks to the hill. They only sent 1 tank to the hill. I've been in that position before, and I really feel sorry for that guy that we killed there. When you're the only one who goes to the hill because your team is full of, well, inexperienced players, let's say, it is very frustrating. The hill, generally speaking, the team that wins the hill wins the game. So if nobody goes to the hill, it's all over because this is what happens. Bye bye, enemy artillery. Oh, we missed. Oh, I'm getting hit from behind by a Lux. Oh, one of my teammates takes care of it, thankfully. Now here I've got a bit of the old narrow focus going. There's a tank on my left. Enemy tank who's just shot me now. Another T-43. So our tank on the enemy team. Now, fortunately, one of my teammates, a KV-85, has come over to have a go at him. But he did put a shot into me, and I was like an idiot not focusing. I missed that shot completely, so I don't know what happened there. That's the thing with this gun. The accuracy is actually pretty good, but every now and then it just goes wild and throws shots completely nowhere. I don't know whether that might be a bit of lag. Yeah, but every now and then it just, the shots just, you don't even see where they go. They misses by so far. So I managed to get shot into the turret of that T-37. Can we finish him? Yeah. Alright, now so I'm moving up. I can see the VK that's just been hit and we haven't spotted anyone, so it's a bit dangerous, but I want to keep the pace of the game going. I make sure I don't go through the cap. I don't want to alert anyone that I'm on the way. I hate E25s and they always disappear, so I want to get rid of that thing. Especially with it in the forest. It's going to disappear soon for sure, and then they're going to be, oh good, we got a hit in. I'd rather get rid of that than anything else on the battlefield at the moment, because they just disappear and then you can't see them and they shoot you from a hidden location and they're just invisible. I don't know who's spotting this thing, but oh, I missed again. Yeah, there you go. Every now and then the accuracy is just trash. Not sure if that shot hit or not. So now I decide to move up. They've still got 3 artillery, so I missed that shot on arty before and looks like they all moved. So I want to go up and spot the artillery again and hopefully take care of them, because we're down. It's 8 to 10. We're down 2 tanks. If I can get rid of this arty, I can help rebalance things again. We've spotted TD. There's another shot that went nowhere. Now, normally the accuracy isn't as bad as this. Now, you can see there we bounced off that guy. You know, he's a tier 7, we're a tier 7. You know, he wasn't angled that much. Really, you'd want your tank to pen something like that. Now, lower plate. Hallelujah. Okay, Artie. Alright, so we managed to nail that one. Someone else hit it before us. The low amount of damage per shot in this tank also means that artillery is not a one-shot kill, or often it's not even a two-shot kill. Sometimes you've got to put 3 shots into them, which can be a little bit terrifying at times. Now I know there's more arty up here. There's still got 2 more and another up here. Move up. They're now only 1 tank up. The rest of the teams, our team's been doing okay. So I started to move up. It's got to be up here somewhere. We'll spot the SU again. We might get a side shot here. Waiting for a full aim. Ah, that was my bad. He moved and I missed. Oh damn, that was a bad miss. I'll take a blind shot there, but not good. That guy could be the end of me. I've got to be very careful. I don't know where these other arty gone. They must have just done a runner. It's a bit of a worry now because we're down to 2 tanks. They've got 3, and if I get spotted, there's 2 arty with not much to aim at. They're either going to aim at me or my teammate. So, yeah, if I get spotted, I'm going to have a tank destroyer and 2 artillery all shooting at me simultaneously. So I'm sticking to the bushes. Hopefully, I can spot something before it spots me, but I'm moving, so it's probably unlikely. The arty can't have run that fast. Surely they're not that fast. Or maybe they are that fast. Wow, they really took off. Okay, we're now getting capped. I just got hit by the GW Panther, and there he is. Now we spot him. Gee, it was hard to spot him, considering he fired and everything. Oh, now we've been hit by the other arty. It could be all over here, folks. We've only got 105 hit points left. The reason I'm circling this when I don't have to circle him is because I'm worried about the other arty and the tank destroyer hitting me, so I don't want to stop. As you can see, their accuracy on the move actually was pretty good. But yeah, there you go. That's why I didn't want to stay stationary even for a second. So that was the other arty. Now, they are capping, which looks like it's probably the TD that's on cap, I think. Although the arty fire came sort of from our cap, so it could be the artillery that's capping. So I've got to keep looking out here to see if the TD or the arty are out here before I turn in, because I don't want to get shot from the side. Looks like the coast here is reasonably clear. It's 66%, 68% capped. I'm 72% capped. I've got to move in. I just have to drive straight in now and hopefully get a shot and reset the cap. 86%. Hallelujah, they've been spotted. Oh, and our tank gets rid of the artillery. Our teammate, and then we reset this guy, so now the cap's completely reset. Well done to our Hellcat there. Well done indeed. Some reason that didn't pen, even though it was the back of him. Oh, I'm hitting a dead tank. That's why I didn't pen. I've got to move here. The Hellcat obviously doesn't want to pull up because the guy's looking straight at him. But we've pretty much got this in the bag now. I just can't see this guy winning now. There we go. He's turning now. I must have just been spotted. He's trying to get more cover. Turned to face me, but there you go. Game over. We won a game! So we did get our Top Gun finally. Now just a quick comment about the accuracy. I don't think I explained. In the first game that you saw, my crew was only 86% trained, and the game that you just watched, my crew was 89% trained. So that would probably explain the poor accuracy that you saw there from time to time. So if the crew was 100% trained, I'm pretty confident that in fact my crew is now 100% trained, so I can tell you the accuracy is better. So I should have mentioned that beforehand. Maybe I did. I don't think I did. So yeah. Anyway, that game was a Class 2 game. We managed to get Top Gun, Steel Wall, and Defender. So good game. We actually finished second. I experienced the Hellcat did much better than us and actually did more damage than us too. Tier 6 tank in a Tier 7 game. He had a fantastic game and really probably saved our butt there with the resetting of the cap. I don't know if I would have got there in time. Actually, our team looking here had a 37% chance to win, so probably myself and the Hellcat made the difference there. So 31 shots fired, 15 hits, and like I say, I think I can explain quite a few of those misses by the untrained crew. 15 hits, 14 penetrations, so the penetration isn't too bad at this tier. But at tier 8 and 9, like I say, it didn't even have a tier 8 and 9 game to show you because the penetration's so poor. Damage of 1,818 is pretty good, and 900 of that was from a distance of over 300 meters. We received 11 hits, only 5 of them penetrated. So armor did hold up a lot better in this game, but they were, you know, lighter tanks that were shooting at us. We damaged 7 tanks, destroying 6 of them, securing a top gun, which was great, and we did a little bit of assistance damage. And base capture points, we got 121 base capture points. So I guess you can say it wasn't just the Hellcat that saved the game. We saved the game there too, and we did. We made 33,000 income. Take off the bonus we had there, we still made 20,000, which is pretty good profit for a tier 7 tank. 870 hit points was a class 2, and like I say, I think a mastery would be about in the 1250, 1300 mark. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching my review of the T-43. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more reviews, please subscribe to ReginaldESQ. Have fun.